I've been with no sleep for like 5 days. Living this life just for Friday. I don't like rules, I do it my way. Everywhere I go they say my name. 605 crypto, 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 605 crypto.
We love green.
And welcome back to 605 Crypto. You got Travis B here, and it's been a minute since our last episode, but here we are, we're moving on. Let's take a look at the overall market. About the last half a week, we've seen a nice little pop in the market. We're checking out Bitcoin right here, and you can see almost up to 48,000 right now. And over the last week, you can see we had a nice jump towards the end of last week. You know, kind of broke through some resistant thresholds at the $44,000 and $45,000 level, touching at 48. I think it's got moved to potentially hit, maybe 56 here before long. So we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin. The rest of the market likes to follow Bitcoin, so Ethereum's up to almost 3,500. You got XRP hanging in there at number 6, just above Cardano. By about roughly $1 billion in market cap. XRP sitting at around 87 cents right now. You can see Avalanche is making a nice little recovery, little run right here, up to $99. I should have bought some earlier today, it looks like. So the overall market's been green here for the last couple days. The overall market likes to follow Bitcoin, so, this is all good. We like green here at 605 Crypto. Checking in over at Gizmodo.com, we can see another hack. Hackers steal $625 million from the Ronin network in the largest ever crypto theft. Not that long ago, we were talking about the previous all-time most expensive crypto theft. So that's already been outdone. And the Ronin network is a network that the Axie Infinium play-to-earn games runs on. It was thought to be totally decentralized, unhackable, but it turns out it's not. And the sadder thing about this is $625 million went missing, and it took a couple days for anybody to figure out that they were missing. And that almost makes me more concerned than the hack. If we jump on over to the Twitter and check in with Psych Out, he's got a little update on the Ronin network. It's been an intense 36 hours. We've been working with the Sky Mavis board and key cybersecurity personnel to get a complete overview of the situation. Our internal network is currently going through a deep forensics review to ensure there is no lingering threat. If you read down through here, turns out that this was a social engineering attack combined with human error from back in December 2021. And it wasn't exploited, I guess, until very recently. Social engineering, if you don't know what it is, go ahead and look it up. It's basically when you look into your target, you find out what their social media presence is, the real world presence, who the colleagues, who are the employees of a company, if it's the company's a target, who are friends of those employees, that you may be able to pretend to be to get in touch with an employee to get them to click on something nefarious. So social engineering is a big part of hacking. 9 times out of 10, you trick the user into doing something they shouldn't have done, and that's how they gain access. But if we check in over at PCMag.com, we can see that Google patches this year's second actively exploited Chrome 0 day. And, a lot of people run Chrome, and they use their MetaMask. I believe Chrome is still the only browser that allows you to use your Ledger Nano or your Ledger Nano S or X with MetaMask, which is another layer of security. So, a lot of people, if you're using Chrome, I don't know if it has any vulnerabilities to MetaMask, but you should go over to Ledger.com and pick up a hardware wallet. You don't have to use a Ledger. There's a couple different brands. I'm not getting paid to tell you to go buy their stuff. Ledger's what I'm familiar with. I have several of them myself. I've helped friends set them up. So it's important that you get a hardware wallet so you own the keys to your own crypto. Get your crypto off the exchanges, people. Get your crypto, if you're using MetaMask, make sure you're utilizing that option to use a ledger through MetaMask, because if the browser that your MetaMask is installed on gets hacked in some way we don't know about and they compromise your password, guess what? if your funds aren't, if your crypto's not hidden behind that extra step of security with the ledger, your stuff is gone. And they say a fool is easily separated from their money. So don't be a fool. Make sure you're doing as much as you can on your part to keep your crypto and your funds secure. It would be the worst thing in the world to work really, really hard for something, to accumulate a lot of crypto, to make life-changing wealth, just to see it get hacked and stolen from you. Check out ledger.com. Link will be in the description. I am not a financial advisor. This channel is just for entertainment only. Please do your own research, but I suggest checking out Ledger. We're going to have a how-to video on how to set up a ledger in an upcoming episode. So checking back in over at Twitter with Dr. Alyssa Benson, MD. Holy hell, they did it. This is a really big deal. The financial equivalent of nuclear bombs. Most world's economies are all based on debt. Now Russian money is based on money. So there's been a lot of talk about the sanctions that the rest of the world's putting on Russia because of this invasion of Ukraine. And, again, we're only hearing what they want us to hear through that box on the wall, that magical TV box that, everybody's saying, yeah. So anyways, think outside that box. Think for yourself. But, take a look. While our government has been busy just printing money out of thin air for the last couple years, well, for the last 100 years, really, but it's accelerated the last couple years with the medical crisis that we recently went through. But, look at this. Russia has now pegged the ruble to 500 rubles per gram. There's 5,000 rubles per gram of gold. So they've set a price. So we check down here on the timeline here. Russia just wiped out about 30% of the value of the US dollar worldwide when it comes to gold bullion. Worse, because Russia will only sell its oil and gas in rubles, and rubles are now fixed to 5,000 rubles per gram. Anyone wishing to buy oil or gas will need to either pay in rubles or pay in gold. And they won't get the US dollar value for gold they tender as. You see this? This is a good picture. This is all great commentary on what's been going on, okay? They want you looking at this. Meanwhile, we got financial nuclear bombs being dropped, okay? Keep an eye on this. Meanwhile, we can see, the Russian ruble had plunged in value after all these bad sanctions were put in. Well, look, it's almost recovered. If we check in with Clint Ehrlich here, he says the Russian ruble is nearing its pre-invasion value. Well, look at that. The U.S. got away from the having the dollar backed by gold back in the 70s, and it's been downhill ever since. And like I said, recently they've been printing more and more money. Checking in at Gold Telegraph here, breaking news. British bank Barclays to book $591 million loss after selling too many structured notes. Big banks never fail to amaze. This. Have you seen the pattern here, folks? All right, you see the dominoes starting to fall? This is what happens when you're creating money out of thin air. And then you just keep kicking the can down the road. Well, you finally get into the end of the road here at some point. So keep an eye on this. Over in the crypto space, the equivalent of printing money out of thin air, that's happening. 1 billion unbacked USDT has been magically printed out of thin air to artificially prop up Bitcoin's price. So this is something you have to look into. That shiny Bitcoin everybody's chasing, not everybody understands why it's valued at what it is. When they can just print USDT, Tether, out of thin air without having it backed by actual US dollars. Now, we've discussed this in the past. We know the company behind Tether has been audited, and they couldn't show the US dollars that were backing all the Tether in circulation. But they tried to come up with some, we have other stuff that's worth this, and we have other collateral and property, and that's not what they had said originally. So when something like this happens, you can expect to see a nice pump in crypto. So, I don't know if that's factored in here yet, but we might see another leg up. Like I said earlier, I think we could see 56,000 in the near future for Bitcoin. If they just keep printing Tether out of thin air, when's that Tether bubble going to pop? I don't know, but that's why I like to stack up on XRP whenever I get a chance. If we check in with XRP Crypto Wolf, court orders Ripple and SEC to agree on schedule to end the XRP lawsuit. So now checking in over at Finance Feeds, which Crypto Wolf was talking about, The New York Southern District Court has ordered the SEC and Ripple to come to an agreement on the briefing schedule for summary judgment motions. There's a lot of talk about the end of April now. Take a look at the article. Link will be in the description. Ripple wants the lawsuit to end sooner than later. You know, they've talked about maybe doing a IPO after that. There's talking about filings that are due in mid-May. If we also look at a newer article from Finance Feeds, we've got an attorney's opinion that SEC would rather settle with Ripple than hand over docs. Some of the documents that Ripple has been requesting, they've had a hard time getting. They've had the judge order stuff be turned over. There was delay, and then when stuff was turned over, it was so redacted that it was useless. They're playing this game. I guess they've kind of figured out that Ripple has backed them into a corner, and they don't really have a leg to stand on anymore. You know, now we're talking settlement. I think we're going to see a big price action in XRP when this thing settles. It could be shortly before it settles. Who knows? But all I know is you want to have your bags packed before this lawsuit ends, because XRP is going to be out of reach. You're not going to be able to stack up on them like you are now. Under $1, still a great deal. Over at USA Today, Ripple's been identified as an opportunity in payments alongside Circle by Goldman Sachs. You might have seen this floating around on the interwebs. Ripple is mentioned as an opportunity in payments here. You know, banks join RippleNet to process cross-border payments in real time with end-to-end tracking and certainty. Available in 55-plus countries across 6 continents, RippleNet makes it easy to connect and transact across a robust network of financial institutions. So Goldman Sachs mentioning Ripple, and RippleNet is not the on-demand liquidity, but, you know, with the use of RippleNet opens a door for the use of on-demand liquidity, the ODL. Ripple's got a lot of things going for it here. They're being mentioned amongst Circle and Coinbase. These are huge names. Take a look at the article at USA Today. This is all exciting stuff for Ripple and XRP, and as we looked at the price, we're hanging in right around 86, 87 cents. I expect to see an upward trend over the last 7 days. We saw a nice little pop up there to 90, and we're working our way back up towards that. So I think $1's coming soon. It's all right to take a break, just don't quit. Thanks for joining us today. If you made it this far, give us a like and a subscribe, and please tell a friend about the show, and I appreciate all of you. And this is Travis B. with 605 Crypto, and we'll catch you next time.
I've been with no sleep for like 5 days, living this life just for Friday. I don't like rules, I do it my way. Everywhere I go they say my name. 605 Crypto, 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 605 Crypto.
We love green.